Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Rufe Jesu, and like I always say, it's always a pleasure to be here. And today I'm still talking about yes, the sweet gist. Can you guess? Can you guess? So I got 3 years work permit for a 1-year course. Yes, you heard me right. 3 years postgraduate work permit for a 1-year course. And that's the gist I want to share with you today. So like when it happened, I was so happy. Like I wasn't expecting it because let me give you the backstory. If you see my video, I had a previous video on the course I had to come to Canada with. And when I came to Canada, the course I had 2 1-year course. I mentioned it in my previous video. So I had one that was supposed to finish in May, and then I was supposed to start another one this September. That just, this September we just finished, which was supposed to, also end next April. That's 2025. So after, the 1 year rigorous learning, studying in Canada is not being so. It's not being, and for people that are married, have kids, it's a lot. And also, like, apart from that, one thing that I also felt was, let me just risk it. Like, let me give this 1 year a chance. What if within this 1 year I get my PR with the fact that I have a job as, a health worker? So what if, like, anything can happen within that 1 year? I could come into the pool after 6 months for my healthcare category. I could, utilize, provincial nominations. I was just thinking of several things to do. So I spoke with my husband and he agreed with me. He said, well, let's give it a shot. And guess what? I called off my second program. So like, I'm not even part of those people that were lobbying for a second course. Like, I had a second course before and I called it off because I'm like, that one is plenty. That one is plenty. I will do it as a PR and I'll pay less. I swear to God, that was what I did. And I still had my study permit valid till 2025 December. So it wasn't like I just decided to call it off. And of course, with the support of my husband, with the help of God, I learned that in faith. Because I had a full-time job and I had a part-time job. We both in the health sector. If you don't know, I work as a personal support worker here in Canada. And I enjoy doing it. So that was, why we just thought that, okay, you have a full-time job, we could explore several health pathways that people are talking about, rather than just, being in school, studying, trying to juggle work again, and then thinking of what pathway to use as a student. And honestly, I didn't know they were still going to revert student back to 20 hours. We had the 40 hours when we came in. And so I was able to work full-time. And I was enjoying it already, so it was sweet in my body. So to now just revert back, those were part of all what informed my decision. And I just took the step prayerfully, after consulting with the right quarters, and I decided not to do my second course. So I also thought that, okay, of course, if I get a PR, it's something I can still do because I'll pay less as a permanent resident, isn't it? So yeah, I decided not to do my second course. So May, I think I finished in April. I got my completion letter 8th of May, and I already started my application like a couple of days before. I already filled all the forms, so I was just waiting to get my completion letter because I didn't want to have to stop working. So so that was the backstory. Before I jump, so I filled my completion letter. And I put in my transcript, and I also, I did my medical separately, and I attached them. So after all those things, I think I was able to submit 10th or 11th. Now, that very 10th of May, there was a news that came out that says they are considering longer postgraduate work permits for people in maybe in-demand sectors, people that are already working, like students that are working in in-demand sector, that there's a tendency that they may give them longer postgraduate work permits. I was happy because as at that time, I didn't even know such a thing would come up. And one thing I noticed about this our minister is that if he talks about something, even if he directly has not made it a law or a standing policy, he might give a leverage to start considering it, or making it a factor in people's application. And I feel that's what happened to me. So when I submitted my application, I did it with faith. So my colleague said, have you applied for your PGWP? I didn't want to tell a lot of people too, because like a lot of my classmates, I didn't tell them for a long time until I got my approval. They were like, Tai, are you sure you don't want to do this second course? I'm like, I don't think I want to go through this stress again as an international student. I believe that if there are other pathways I can explore, I would be able to get, better opportunities. And okay. So I submitted. So I said, see, they should not even answer the application for 6 months, so that by the time they approve it, I'll have, like, if they give me 1 year, I will have had 6 months to think of what to do. And then before my 6 months, my 1 year starts running. I was just cooking up several things in my head, because I'm like, hey, I hope this visa will not say, but this girl has a study permit in 2025. Why is she changing her mind? I have a friend, God bless Billion. Billion, if you ever see this, shout out to you. He said, just tell them that your mental health cannot take it again. I said, okay, that's the point. Because I was just like, what did they say? But your study permit is in 2025. Why are you changing your mind? I was so scared. A lot of things were running through my head, running through my mind. So I submitted my application, and I was hoping that this application would be delayed. Like, I was praying that it was going to be delayed. But this application was not delayed though. 5 weeks later, that was how I saw correspondence letter. I said, why did you people answer me on time? And that was in April, Abby. Was it April? No. June, yeah. That was in June. Just 5 weeks after. I got correspondence letter. When you get your biometric validity letter, the next thing is your approval or your refusal. You share the decision. My heart was in my mouth. I was at work that day. It was a Friday. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to open this. And guess what? The only thing I was looking for was that digit at the back of 2020 what? And I saw 2027. I could not cry. I could not laugh. I'm like, how? How did it happen? How did I get it? I called my husband. I said, babe, I have 3 years. He said, how? He said, for real? Are you for real? I said, yes. I made a screenshot for him and sent. He said, wow, God is good. Now, I can't deny that God is faithful and, is awesome. But I think one of the things that stood me out was the fact that I attached my job offer. Now, so this video, all those ones I'm saying was the story behind it. The reason I'm doing this video is how you can also position yourself rightly to get a postgraduate 3, a longer validity of a postgraduate work permit. So when I got my approval letter, I shared it with my, college group. And guess what? Nothing less than 3 people came out and said, oh yes, I also work as an health worker. I submitted my employment letter and I got 3 years. One lady said, oh, I work as a residence management, blah, blah, blah. And I got 3 years. She said she got 19 months. But they told her that if she renews her passport, she will get a longer validity. So if you have a job, it's a good catch. And this is how you can position yourself rightly. When you have a job in in-demand sector, either health, IT, all in-demand sector, and when it is more than one, it positions you rightly. I have not seen anybody that has 2. Please, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but of course, I'm talking based on people I have around me and my own experience. I had 2 jobs and I put it in and I got 3 years. A couple of other people I know that also had 2 jobs, put it in, and I got 3 years. And I feel that's the catch. So apply, put your application. There's this place that people used to jump and not feel it. Do you have a job in Canada? Yes. Is it LMIA? No. Not all jobs are LMIA. I put no, my job is not LMIA. Is this job permanent, full-time? Answer all those questions truthfully. Put your employment letter and add your 2 recent pay stubs. Always put your employment letter and strive to get a job, at least 1 job in in-demand sector, or 2 jobs if you can lay your hands on them. People get jobs every day, believe me. I know it can be hard, but you don't give up until you achieve what you want. So that being said, get your English test ready. When I applied, it was not required, but now it's effective November that you have to submit your English test if you're going to apply for postgraduate work permit. Get your English test ready. So for example, you competed in December, you should have booked probably and try to plan along the side so that your English test can be ready. Get your English test ready. Put all your stories together. Be coherent in your informations. Make sure that everything you have, so that you don't raise highbrow. Make sure everything you've ever put in IRCC is still the same thing you're still putting forth. With the duration, with the timing, everything. These people never forget. They never forget. So yeah. So those are the things I feel stood me out, and stood a couple of people that I also know had 3 years work permit for a 1-year course out. So if you're scared that maybe anything could happen, I'm assuring you that anything is possible. If you have a job, put it in and hope for the best. But if not, if you still get a 1 year, start positioning yourself. Like even when I got the 3 years, I said, God, I beg, I don't want to wait for 3 years to get PRO, because there are a lot of things that could happen. Things could change, like policies change every time. So if you have just 1 year, what if you have just 1 year? What are you going to do? So the plan is, start now. Think of what you want to do, how to get your permanent residency, what's your next step to do. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. You can send me a DM. I'm willing to reply. You can check me out on Instagram. I'm Orefechayo on Instagram. You can send me a DM. I'm on TikTok, your favorite PSW. I'm on YouTube. Honestly, that was a pleasure to be here. So that is how I feel you can position yourself rightly for a 3-year postgraduate work permit for just a 1-year course. If you enjoyed my video, I know this one was even play. If you enjoy it, so please subscribe, like, follow, share with your friends, and let's grow this community together. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time viewing my videos and all the love you're pouring out to me. God bless you and have a good time. Bye.